Hey, look, we're live here on Z1R Randomizer 2 with a low rule bracket round of 16 matchup. It's game one between Bort and Malkier. It's going to be a fun one, I think, because again, it's what's not to be fun with Z1 Randomizer and rolling the same sort of shenanigans over and over again and coming back to play them more often. Speaking of someone that's just as insane as I am and these runners, we have Elso in the booth with me. I'm Fury.
Quack, 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 quack.
So we'll save you all the Common Core discussion we had before this in the pre-game warm-up and commentary, but we should have some quality entertainment nevertheless from the racers because, again, this is game one, and the seating's pretty close, so we should be in for a fun time, I think.
Yeah, and I would honestly like to see them start somewhere kind of open, maybe the desert, maybe the West Forest, or we're going to get the Southwest corner. Okay.
I was about to say this, but I was letting you go, and I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be just funny after all that if you said all this and Dead End Woods was where we got it? But no, it's a fun time again for all involved as we get not a lot of easy progression out of this, especially if the enemy set's pretty awful, but we haven't seen that much yet.
You know, every time I see that message, I just want to say it's reading a come on Farquads.
Yeah.
And then immediately think about a Lord Farquaad's for Link.
So Dark Nuts on the overworld, that could be worse, I suppose. Wizrobes being up there for some. I think Gria still is the worst.
My ideal overworld is actually Moblins. Oh, no. Well, there's a Grias.
Hey, we have Grias too. Look at that. We got my wish for least favorite.
My ideal overworld is like Lionel's and Darknuts, actually.
Worst is Lionel Gria for me, and favorite is probably Wizrobe Pulse Voice, if I can get it.
I would put my worst is Gria Wizrobe. Only because I sometimes find the orange Wizrobes on the stagger terrains really bother me.
It looks like I didn't do math fast enough, but it looked like just under 120 rupees for the three combined, so that's going to be expensive hints.
Yeah, that looked about right. Hopefully we'll get to see it on Bort side so that we can get another look. And this really isn't a bad screen to go south of in order to get out of the Vanilla 6 area.
The reason why I like the Wizrobe Pulse Voice overall, though, is the Wizrobes can be a bit nasty in the dungeons. What we got there? 96 and some small number, so it's like 115 maybe? Just under?
Yeah.
So yeah, still expensive-ish.
Yeah, like 107? I'm actually trying to, like, hand jam the math in my head, and that's a bad idea, but... Expensive, nonetheless.
Yeah, 96, I think, for the big expensive ones. We have, we have someone's favorite item, who shall not be named, because then I'll get objects thrown at me, but it's the raft.
I don't know. I think Slammer would just opt to go for the body slam instead.
I'm thinking more commentary, but nevertheless, we run.
Yep. So we got... Death Armos has not a whole lot of benefit to it. 14 for the small secret.
Yeah, I do like doing the Death Armos raft, though, because we do have the raft, so you can go ahead and knock out the raft spot at Vanilla 4.
Yes, assuming you can survive the Gurias.
Yeah, but Pulse Voice Wizrobe means you get out two of the most annoying dungeon sets. Like, Pulse Voice take a half hour to fight on the Wood Sword, so I'm happy to see them go the overworld. Wizrobe is just the blue Wizrobe screens in the dungeons when you get Shutter Doors is less fun than, say, a Dark Nut room.
You do have a Wood Sword pickup as it's at the Vanilla Medicine Cave over by level 3.
Which for some reason is considered dead woods on the map for randomizer, I guess, to even out the locations. The death here I don't think matters much because you're still going to progress that way from your start screen, so it's not going to hurt Bort too much.
Now, and Yeah, I think some of that is like similar to the power bracelets bought by the fairy fountain and the burn bush near level 1. Those being considered desert, it's to balance things out, because elsewise you'd get a hint of something lurks near the desert, and then you immediately know exactly where it is. Which kind of happens with the river spots.
Alright, so Bort's going to get their sword now. It's maybe a minute behind, not of much consequence.
Yeah. That definitely will not be a race decider, given that right now neither runner's gotten bombs yet. And, oh, well, there we go. Bort gets bombs.
Yeah, so we got the Armos, we got the combat. So now it's just about finding potentially a candle so we can clear more overworld. Finding bomb droppers so we get even more bombs than the 4 we have. And then finding some levels or a white sword cave.
So we're going to see one of our 2 raft spots.
Come on, level 9 for shenanigans.
I'm going to say rare candle shop. Wait, actually it can't be the rare candle shop. It's a potion shop, okay.
Now, rare candle shop would be a bug retort to Fred pretty quickly.
Yes. As logically, there must be at least one candle shop that can either be accessed via open cave or via bombs.
And I can say I've seen at least a good chunk of that be on Death Mountain as a rare shop too. It's been annoying.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look. Got a white sword item near start. It's the recorder.
Yeah, we don't have a candle to burn it yet, unfortunately. Maybe we'll have a candle by the time we get back to it.
Well, I mean, you do have to cook your breadsticks. As raw dough is not as good for the body as it might seem.
You know, I tried reheating some of like the what you call them, the garlic cheese bites. Not great on the reheat. Would not advise.
Yeah. Honestly, Pizza Hut breadsticks are something you definitely should never reheat because they're just bad.
Yeah, it wasn't them, but in general, I've decided I will just try and eat them and then waste them.
I mean, sometimes you can eat them cold. May not be ideal, but you can do it. We find a candle shop.
What was our pricing on that one?
49, so not bad. I want to say it was at the open desert cave.
So discount candles. Good stuff.
Find level 4.
Dark nut into dead.
And chat pointing out that the flute is going to be really helpful to get out of the start screen once the runners get a Triforce.
Yes, indeed. And Stavros have our first key. Sometimes it goes quite some time before we can actually find one, so good to have that out of the way. 4 should have a couple of them at least.
Hi, Goma. It's going to block the one door, but we'll see if we need to go through the one door. There's the wish robes. Or I
Yeah,
guess
but at least it's a standing key, so you don't have to come back to that room. And you can farm bombs there, but we don't need them now.
Yeah. Although you might want a little bit more health before you farm bombs there, given the 4 BMOS. Yep, there's your pancakes.
So we got the breakfast room set up here from a level 6 in vanilla, just not all together just yet.
Bort is continuing to look around on the overworld, down to 1 bomb. So probably wants to kill some of these gorillas to try to get a bomb pack. There's a bomb pack on the floor, and another Goma.
I shouldn't see too many more Gomas in this 4. Bosses should be at a minimum.
Yep. There's blue worshrops.
So now your option is a key door to the north up the E column, or doping, probably.
Could also try to find the most magical bomb balls. There's the candle, and the bombs are 40 rupees, so...
Yeah, so this is basically a test to see how well one can force bombs, I would suppose.
Yeah. And honestly, for the price of like 2 bomb packs, you can probably get the bomb upgrade.
Looks like we're ladder blocked or bow blocked out of most of the right side of this floor. The other strategy that could be employed here, if you wanted to clear this room a little bit easier, is get the pancake to just go ahead and eat you, and then you can just stab for days.
Good
Malkier
old
instead.
pancake.
Yeah, instead of Malkier using the bomb and getting through it quicker that way. But if you didn't have bombs or didn't want to spend the resource, that would be a way.
Oh.
And yeah, we are locked out of that side of the floor. You can use a bomb or a key maybe to go up into that one room on the left, and then we can bomb right in an earlier room.
Yeah. It's like Malkier instead is going to say, nah, I'll come back with one of those 2 items.
Yeah, I mean, I would have a rare disagreement. I would check the first room you can get into there, maybe, at least. But level 1 being found kind of erases that thought for me a little bit.
Yeah. And the orange wizards did go down to 2 woodsword hits. That's kind of nice for bomb droppers.
Yep. Now, if you're probably going to pirouette the right door.
Yeah. Sadly, you can't really pirouette the left door unless you want to start walking through the mountain.
Yeah, you can technically try and open the left wall up at some point with the shutter door inside a dungeon, but for now it's going to remain closed or until we decide to bomb there once we get a map, maybe.
Yeah, which, given that the game tends to like to center the maps with respect to the minimap, the odds of that left wall bombing are pretty low.
Well,
Not impossible.
I think we're going to have the same enemy set here already. Like could, in theory, be in 2 enemy sets.
I would be willing to, at the very least, assume that it's a wizard set until otherwise shown to me that it's not.
So it gets the sword beams back for the next room, which is not Wizrow, but it's +2 keys.
Anytime you see +2 keys, it almost doesn't matter what the other enemies roll. You just have a sigh of annoyance. I would still
take. I would still debate it until the end of time that +2 Tektites are the worst of the bunch.
I can agree that they are definitely in the top 3. Honestly, my one thing with keys over Tektites is keys seem to be more common than Tektites do. Because Tektites don't have to spawn in dungeons, keys do.
Fair, but the Tektites have no understanding of logic once you hit them. They just teleport and off they go. They can go into the HUD, they can go off screen momentarily. They can move absolutely nowhere and then immediately jump into your face. They just don't care.
We're just going to pick up a candle. So we'll start doing this. Map reveals there is a bomb mole to the left.
Is there, though? I thought that was our start room.
You're probably right, and I'm probably misreading the map because I'm bad at. Sometimes I'm really bad at reading the map correctly.
The other gunshot, by the way, 32, 42, 33.
All right, so 65 plus 42. They're both 107, I think. If I did the math correctly in my head, they both should be about 107.
They're both 107. Someone needs to find Rex and have him calculate the probability of that happening in a seed.
Let's see. Also, we found levels 1 and 4. 1 plus 4 is 7, which is the 107. So if you take 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 also happens to be 6 plus 2, and 6 is 7 minus 1. Therefore, we have an 8, a 6, and a 2, which means I predict level 5 next.
In the meantime, that entry point to 1 was, in fact, that little one-off.
Yep. I was wrong.
So we can go up here via key. At 5 keys now, certainly going to do that. We managed to find a ton of keys in 1, too, by the way.
Yeah. And even though one likes to eat the keys, it doesn't always have to eat all of the keys in order to get everything out of it. Here's a push block. Item is ladder. Okay.
We don't even know what the coast item is yet, although Bort's maybe going to find that out, depending on how many more Gorilla he sees.
Yeah. Looks like Bort will be good to get there. Also, the levers rolling down is going to help Bort get some, well, no money, but gets a bunch of health.
I don't think he'll complain.
Nope. There's a key for Malkier. Level 3 found.
Yeah, I think he's still going to look.
We might be down to level 1.
I was too busy looking at the book on the coast.
Was 8 blue wardrobes with a shadow door.
Oh, nice.
Now, granted, you can door guard the wardrobes, but on 3 bombs, you might want to come back later with some more bombs. And this will be not the old man, not an item. There's so little in that room, it doesn't even have a floor.
You get nothing at all.
Oh, there's a Willy Wonka joke in there somewhere.
There is. But yeah, we're out of 1. Presumably for a little while. We do have a push block of 3. Is it segmented, or is it a staircase item? It's segmented.
It's not too terribly surprising. It does seem like if you find a staircase within the first, 4 rooms or so of a low-numbered level, it's going to be segmented. Not always the case. Not quite rule of 5 levels of consistent, but that does happen.
I will maintain that a staircase and a segmented low dungeon is so much more probable when you have the entry room starting on the bottom of the screen. If you allow entry room shuffle on and you can put it anywhere, it reduces that.
Honestly, I'd agree with that. Just thinking about the way that it has to fit everything into the 16x8 grid, and then, oh, by the way, you have to put 6 start rooms within a single row of that 16x8 grid. It leads to the game having to do some jumping through hoops when it comes especially to keeping in mind 5 and 6. Although I would be curious. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's also the reason why the left alignment happens a lot in 6, because just the way it was coded, I think it was, this is where this is going to be last, and so it kind of sets that border. Yep. I also feel like it makes, for my money, it also makes level 5 kind of, for a lot of them at least that aren't super segmenty, it makes it linear across the right line. We do have a wand, by the way, level 7. That was enough to leave.
Yeah, given you don't know how many Triforces you need yet, you take your wand and you come back if you need to. I think level 3's got 3 segments. That's just based on this 3. Triforce.
We could have the magical 4 or 5 segment 3.
Still waiting for my 6-segment dungeon. That way you get 2Q8 or 1Q9 levels of stairs in level 4. Oh, there's the item. It's the bow.
So we're getting a lot of nice items either early in dungeons or in early dungeons.
And Malkier's gonna find level 8 with an immediate staircase. And it is transport.
We knew it was a transport. That's just... It's too early.
Or if it was an item, it would be the regular boomerang.
I think Bort was hoping for a heart drop out of that group and got nothing out of it. Got more chances here.
Well, there's a map. Oh!
Well, we were both wrong. One of us was rooting for more than 3, and the other one thought it was 3, but it's just a weird hook to it.
So it's like somebody took 2Q6, chopped the top part off, clipped the screen up to where the top part was now at the bottom, and then just garbage data is filling in the rest of that top portion of 3.
I mean, I was going to go with, it looks like my computer, after 13 years of not running defrag.
No, that would be the 5-segment level 3.
Probably.
Full disclosure, I haven't ran defrag on mine in like 4 years at least. Oh, hello.
I mean, One Runner's 52 is the large seeker, by the way, but One Runner has really found a lot of the combat upgrades here. That's Malkier. I would say it's not that improbable for Bort to run across these, as long as we have bombs, and we don't go chasing any roads.
Well, the one thing that might lead Bort away is if Bort finds 9 first and finds that it's a low Triforce count 9.
Yeah, but you still might venture into like a early level 7. Like, I thought it was only like, what, 2 rooms in for the wand, maybe, at that?
Yeah, both of them were within the first like 6 rooms. So if you do the Rick 6, you're probably going to find both. Depending on the
even if it's a 5 Triforce level 9, I'm still tempted because, I mean, last night we saw a race where level 7 had the Triforce 2 rooms in. That made it a lot easier to get to 6 in that specific race.
I mean, even in one of my own races, I dug a level 3 only to find out after the fact that, yeah, you just had to go 2 rooms at a level 6 and you got a Triforce and you could go. The Armos glitch. So sometimes if there's just too much going on the screen, the Armos just won't spawn.
Hey, he cleaned up some of it, though, and then it spawned.
And level 6!
So, okay, no left alignment on 6. It wanted to prove me wrong today. That's cool. Thanks, game.
Yeah, we just get a top alignment instead.
I guess it's fair to note that you would most likely get in alignment to some various degree with the 1 through 6 puzzle.
Yep. Actually, hold on. It might be left aligned, and level 1 just decided to go hang out in the empty space on the left.
Fair.
Because if I look at that, it looks pretty close to the shape of level 1, and the one little gap, and the couple of little gaps could easily just be where the stairs got shoved into. Because that's the other thing about the 16x8 is all of the puzzle pieces of 1 through 6 will fit together, but there will still be enough gaps to account for all of the stairs that occur in 1 through 6 in that 16x8. Which may actually also influence why, if you have one segmented dungeon of 1 through 6, usually a couple others also are. Is sometimes those like 1 or 2 rooms that would connect them instead get replaced with stairs. Has a heart on the floor. While here, back into the chute to get the compass. Alright, based on this, I would clear out this right section and then just leave. Arrow purchase for Bort. That's actually going to be nice with the bow in hand to be able to just clear out some of these pulse voice rooms a lot quicker.
Yeah, Malkier did not get the level 3 knowledge nor the bow knowledge, so this is a clear. Otherwise, I think if you had the bow, it might have just been a Triforce and go for now.
Yeah.
Remember, in the back pocket, we do have at least one runner with the information that a flute awaits near start. I think it's actually Bort that knows that. I don't remember who had bombs, though. I think it's Bort that had the bombs.
Bort has that knowledge, and Bort has coast item knowledge, because Malkier hasn't been there yet.
And Malkier will find the book out there. Will not have the money to do much with it yet, though.
And with the 52 rupee large secret, I would expect to see at least some, if not all, of the hints get save scummed.
You know, I mean, if the Triforce counts low, we're almost setting up for a candleless seed.
Yeah.
As long as 9 is not underneath a burn bush somewhere.
Well, just looking at the burn bushes that have been checked, I haven't really seen anything of significance under a burn bush this seed. A bunch of the levels are bomb blocked, and the white sword item was bomb blocked. Malkier is going to elect to go a couple rooms past the Triforce, and I do like doing the due diligence of saying, okay, let me check around the Triforce to make sure I don't miss anything that's a room away. Doing a really good job with this patcher, too. Oh, but it went broken physics.
Alright, is this the other side of the stair? Or is this the item staircase? It's the other side.
Yeah.
Well, Malkier is now committed, I guess.
But on the other hand, this could be it right here.
In before it's the heart container, and we are sad.
Let's see. Gonna go pick up the fiver. Sport takes another death near start, and the reward is it's regular Dana.
Too late for that to be picked up.
Yeah. Like, the main argument for picking it up is to be able to get things that are, like, if you're in a shoot room and you kill enemies on the other side of blocks, but that happens so rarely that you just accept that you're just gonna maybe miss, like, one bomb pack over the course of the seed from that and just move on. If you don't have a ladder, there's a little bit more of an argument to pick it up, because you can get stuff that gets killed over a river, but with the ladder, that's not even a factor. And I like this from Malkier, waiting for the Gorillas a little bit just to make sure that they don't interfere with his path too much. They still will, just they won't do it as much as they would have if... Oh, and there's Malkier getting the knowledge that the large secret is bad.
Bort, I think, is just hoping to find a heart container at this point.
Yeah. Actually, a little surprised that Bort is still on 3. Malkier is now going to find level 3, speaking of 3s.
Well, Bort fires the arrow, the Gorilla fires the boomerang, and we see which one won.
Yep. I don't necessarily like jumping into 3 before getting the coast item here. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it just seems like the coast item's effectively a free check, and if it's bow or silvers, then you're just go moding 3. Well, okay,
or in this case,
potentially.
Yeah, in this case, you would also potentially stumble across an old man in 3 with what we know the coast item is. So you're missing that opportunity if that said old man is deep in here.
It was right at the entrance.
Oh, so you can just go back in. So it's not going to be complete pain, but
yeah,
Malkier may choose to skip it as well.
Right. But on the other hand, Malkier hasn't seen level 4, and I think the old man, even with the shuffle hint text, are a little bit biased towards telling you what the next dungeon is, but don't quote me on that. That may just be me thinking about the logic.
Well, we have the old man kind of shuffled up, so it's not going to be progressive. Malkier now looking at that compass and going,
And Malkier is going to have a much faster 3 from having the wand, not having the double hit the keys, and not having to deal with some other stuff. Level 9 found on Bort side.
Come on, full brick.
We need 6.
That's not 5.
Yep. This does mean you have to do at least one of the large dungeons. Now, Malkier may never go back to 7 or 8 once he gets that knowledge.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't want to go back to 7, just remove the S, and now it's just even.
I can see why Bort left 3.
Yeah, Petra.
Yep. This is why Patra's a bad roommate.
I mean, it's better than Ganon, who just snores.
I don't know, I feel like having a roommate that snores would be better than having a roommate who summons bees to go through my wall. I don't think Malkier is going to stick around for the heart container.
Does not appear so.
Yeah, would not say no to it if it shows up on the way, but... Another one of your candle bomb shops. But neither runner needs bombs at the moment. Both of them have a decent stock. And Malkier picks up the second Triforce. The book is going to go pick up the book. I would be tempted to save Scum out of checking the coast draft spot. Even though Malkier doesn't necessarily have much that he's going to want to buy, the money in the seat is low enough that, hello!
Okay, that's... what? 6 dungeons basically up here?
Yeah.
The only one that we've seen outside of that's, what, 9?
Yes. No, 3. Because 3 is down on the coast,
Any
not
key.
up in this area. Alright, well... Malkier's going to buy the bomb upgrade, does get +4.
I actually think that's probably the better play than going around trying to find the hints for now, because you're basically in the opportune mode of I can go to 9 and just hope for a hint there and not have to buy hints from silvers.
And there's the Triforce.
See a 5. So instructions for game 2, don't let Bort roll too much free stuff.
Yeah. Malkier still has to find level 9, and level 2 has been found up on Death Mountain.
So we're missing nothing?
We're missing the bonus caves.
Sure.
Which, in Bort's case, he'd really like to see the bonus caves. That's his first heart in the seed.
30 minutes in.
And 2 is Wish Ribs. So Malkier's going to go back to 4. And I like this play a lot, because you still have an item outstanding here. You know that you can now get into the right half of this dungeon. And it's the shortest of your dungeons that are left that aren't Blue Wizard blocked. We might not see that Triforce out of 1 at all in this seed.
I'd be really tempted to go back to 1, though. Just, I've got 12 bombs. I can try and push my advantage of having the ability to clear that. That's kind of my logic there.
That's fair. I think it's really going to come down to the comfort level of the runners. Malkier probably... we'll see, because using a couple here to try to get this Blue Wizard down.
I mean, just get eaten by it.
Yeah, either get eaten or pull the wand out, or both. There's a bonus cave. And probably the old man.
I was going to say the odds. The odds are pretty high of the old man. You don't need that key. Get out of there. Run.
Flee! Bort is looking for more levels. Might also be looking for just, well, anything to help him survive. We haven't seen a blue ring shop, I don't think.
Ooh.
Yeah, 4's not looking the friendliest either.
I mean, doable with open doors, but meh.
But I think we're looking for a stair item, which should be in here, and this is just kill the buyers.
Did we see the heart in here?
I thought we did? Oh, there's a white sword.
Never mind.
You don't say no to it.
Certainly not, but that takes any sting out of maybe a heart being on the floor still.
Yep. So looking at the math of 9, we've got 5 items left, one of which cannot be in 9. So...
straight 50-50.
Yeah. The items we're missing are in 2, the second item in 1, second item in 8, and the 2 items in 9.
I'm gonna go double red 9. Heart container, red candle.
We're gonna counter with double silver. Silver's in blue boomerang.
You know, the last 3 races that I have played in the tournament, the blue boomerang has been a 9. So I've seen it happen a lot. And I've seen it every single time, too.
And as we all know, there's a lot of debate as to whether the blue boomerang or the regular boomerang is the best boomerang. And I say, whichever. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just listen to the old man. He'll tell you.
I say whichever one you find first is the correct boomerang. It doesn't matter which one it is. It could be the pink boomerang that doesn't even exist. Except the red boomerang from Zelda Classic. That thing is just straight up broken.
Alright, we got the white sword. We just kill this last one, save the bomb in case we get silly bomb wall shenanigans.
Yep. There's a Triforce, but Malkier doesn't want that yet. Gonna go look for the second item first. And look, we got silly bomb wall shenanigans.
No, don't.
Oh, that was not great.
Well, might get lucky still.
Nope. And not even a bomb pack on the floor, which means you gotta clear the blue wizards again if you want the second item.
Yeah, I think he realizes his mistake now, but oh well. Let's just leave, I think.
Yeah, maybe you can walk back a couple of rooms before the 6-room respawn hits on that blue wizard room and try to get some bombs, but yeah. Not the ideal way to do that. So, we'll see that second item in level 1, potentially never.
Probably not, for now.
The big thing is, Malkier needs to head over to Death Mountain from here, but doesn't have any bombs to do so to check for level 9. Actually, neither runner's got bombs, and that presenting a bit of a problem for both of them.
Now, Bort's gonna find, like, the only dungeon over here to not have some sort of decent payoff. The problem, he's not gonna be able to get anywhere.
Yeah. Should immediately bomb blocked.
Probably frustrated because legitimately nothing is moving at all in the seed for him, but that bomb block will save him a little bit of time for now. And not all of them are bomb blocked. There's some more just in open caves up to the northeast, I think.
Yes. I want to say 7 was at the open cave in the tree.
Oh, man.
Malkier does get a bomb. You know, I've been in the spot that Bort's in where it just seems like the seed just refuses to move at all. And it's really tough not to just get either completely tilted off the face of the earth and or just what's the words I'm looking for? To the point where you're kind of just going through the motions hoping your opponent finishes.
Yeah. To answer the question, chat, the only seeds that are likely to occur that are unbeatable for the most part will be in Oko, one-hit KO, because not everything is vetted for one-hit KO.
Both runners get the flutes at the same time. Yeah, and Oko is... I would argue that one heart start can get pretty close to that. I don't know if the logic accounts for one heart start properly or not.
Oh, you go with more Final Fantasy music, this time just a fanfare.
Yep. I'm waiting for the Castlevania themes. I know there's a couple. Malkier is going to buy the candle, but we know it's not needed.
I think large secret and one heart container out there for candle purchase.
Yes.
We also know this flute is a bust on the overworld. It could potentially not be a bust in 9, though.
Yeah. But Malkier doesn't know that yet, so needs to go look for 9.
It's going to give his opponent some time to catch up to.
Gets a heart out of it, though. And Monocular Rock has money. Now, I don't recall if level 6 was ladder blocked.
Debatable at times, but unlikely. I believe the staircase will get you around the only ladder block to anything.
Okay. And Malkier...
It'll also get you in the warpath of a Patra on the other side, but that's a different story.
Minor details. Very minor details. Now we're going to see the any roads from Malkier. Alright, I guess that's the other thing the can will get you, is all the any roads. The Octorok might not think this seed is beatable. But thankfully, we didn't ask the Octorok's opinion. That's your boss.
Yeah, just pointing out the money situation, the bomb pack pricing, all that. I think that's like the only major downside to the seed so far. I mean, you walk in, 5 rooms, you get a red ring and 8. You walk in 2 or 3 rooms, you get a wand and 7. You basically walk 6 rooms total level 1 to get your ladder, and like if you take the right staircase, 5 rooms to get your bow.
You take roughly 5 rooms and 5 to get your bomb, upgrade your item, and your Triforce, and you're just done in there. As long as you have a ladder.
Yep.
Malkier's closing in on the location of level 9. Did we mention Wand and 7 and the things that are free?
Yep.
Okay, good. Honestly, I think the only item that hasn't been really free is the White Sword out of 4.
I was gonna say, potion time now for Malkier. You got White Sword and Red Ring.
Yeah. Also, the good thing about the White Sword being in 4 is that... Oh, wait, no. We did the math of what's in 9 with the knowledge that White Sword's in 4. Never mind. Like Malkier would like some more bombs. Gonna do East Death Mountain first, which makes sense. To answer the question, do you check the one item in level 1 before digging 9? Probably not, given you gotta get through an ink blue wizard broom in order to get back into level 1, and you may get a hint for the silvers in 9 anyway.
I think what's going to happen for Malkier, based on progression of the overworld, is going to find 2, either during the search for 9 or directly after the search for 9, and thus will probably just clear 2 and then go to 9.
Yeah, and honestly, given that you're at 5 Triforces already, you could argue leave 2 until post 9, but 2 is the one that makes the most sense to go to for your last Triforce. Downside, of course, is that it's wizard filled. And this will be the boomerang for Bort. Probably a little annoyed that it's not, well, anything useful. Literally anything useful. Big Malkier is now going to go check the Forgotten Spot. Looks like it's the gamble dead.
Could maybe have been applicable earlier, not so much now.
Yeah. There's the patcher that doesn't need to be cleared for Bort, and this will be the Triforce at a level 6. This will put... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's a question in chat about what's blocking 1. 8 blue Wizrobes and a shutter door, and then after that needing a bomb or 2 still to just find the next item. And we had regrets about using the last bomb on the manhandle on Malkier's end, I believe.
Yep. And Malkier's going to say, I'm going to pure about the store in 2, as Bort finds level 8. This will get Bort the red ring, which Bort is now also on the board with a Triforce at a level 6. But is not going to go dig 8.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate because of the defense there. However, might still find other useful items in these other upcoming dungeons.
Yeah, and Bort might be saying, you know what, I want 1 first. At least that's what it looks like Bort is looking for, is looking specifically for level 1, not realizing it's Wizrobes. Or not knowing it's Wizrobes, rather. Speaking of Wizrobes, Wizrobes have died now on the level 2 spot, and Silvers! Wow!
Not going back to 1 also.
Nope. Silvers are in 2. Malkier's going to go ahead and dig this for a Triforce, saying, I got through that blue Wizard room. I want a Triforce before I leave here and go to 9. And thankfully, the bulk of level 2 is up on this segment, so unlikely that we're going to need to revisit that blue Wizard room again.
I don't know, this room could be a trap. Ooh. It was, but not quite as evil.
Yeah, and really there's not much that's going to stop Malkier from being able to leave a room outside of just dying.
I mean, this is pushing sub-hour pace now with Silver's find.
Yep. Bort has found level 1. This will get him the ladder. Depending on if he's willing to kill the blue Wizrobes, might get him a little more. Definitely want to clear this room for a combination of the shutter door and the drop.
Now, the odds-on favorite, I think, is still the power bracelet in level 1. This is the second item.
Yeah.
It's down to a 50-50 for that item. There's the Triforce in 2. Just gotta find our way back to 9, or find it for the first time.
Malkier has to find it for the first time because he's not been to Death Mountain yet. At all.
So it's going to be pretty happy to see it in the moment and see it open directly.
Yep. I think it's right here. Yep, there it is.
Alright, so 47, 10-ish? We're into 9.
So, Ganon is good at making his walls bomb-proof, but not necessarily soundproof. So we're going to be able to hear him from a room away. Like that.
Free bomb pack. And up or down, so as you said, bomb-proof perhaps, soundproof not so much, and with these 2 doors, I think we're probably going to find a way in eventually.
Well, it's not going to be there, but we know exactly where he is. Malkier is going to leave the bomb pack on the floor for now.
What?
No, well, this is where the fun begins.
I thought for a second we were going to get the old man in that room that says, hey, the beast is in, what, southwest of Skull?
That would be southwest, yeah. So, now we get to have some fun with potentially a magic stare to Ganon.
Yeah, but now you just start taking stairs knowing that it's not going to let you over there for free. And you get your red candle. It looks like my 9 is the one setting up to be.
Yep. Our container for Bort in 1.
Ladder incoming momentarily for Bort as well.
You know, the game would troll us and just make us both half right.
Yeah. Still just trying to get over here. Just
Yeah.
not allowing it.
Bort's gonna see the blue wardrobe hell in a second here. First transfer for Malkier. And yeah, this is what blocked Malkier from going back into 1. Is that room.
Alright. This looks promising. Key door to the right, and then go down.
Any key is also proven to be particularly beneficial now for Malkier.
Watch it not be bombable from the top now after that doesn't open. Open door.
It's a door. I was expecting the old man with Ganon's hint. Oh, hello.
Alright, circle
room.
moat.
It's
With
not the worst
White's-
room.
With white sword and red ring and a red potion, though, it's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And honestly, actually, I don't know. I feel like Double River Room is the worst to fight Ganon in.
I mean, it really just depends on whether or not you have the ladder a lot of the time.
Yeah. Interestingly, the Chevy, if I have a ladder, isn't actually too bad because I can just kind of bounce between the spawn point and the center of that water.
Alright, so just looking for that shutter door now. Should be.
Yep.
So, I mean, I won't say it because then it will be trolly, but it shouldn't. Like, we've got so much access to the middle of this 9 at this point that you'd think it wouldn't be too terribly long.
Yeah, unless he's like in some stupid nub in the, like a random area of 9 that you have no way to get to except by like 2 magic stairs.
Yeah,
You know, like
Malkier's
vanilla.
limiting stairs.
Somebody once did say Vanilla is the worst randomizer seed ever. Just because of the 3... Is it... What is it, like 3 or 4 magic stairs you gotta take in 9?
Yeah, it's a lot of moving around. Okay, now we're back to where we came from, essentially. Maybe just one off of it.
Was it Goma?
To answer the question, chat, yes, you're reading Triforces correctly. Bort has missed multiple Triforces that were available early just because bigger dungeons be a no-go, and a lot of the smaller dungeons that have Triforces are combat locked, and one runner has red ring, white sword to combat them with, and the other has wood sword and no ring.
Yep. And a lot of that is also that the combat items in 7 and 8 were just a couple of rooms in. And those Triforces weren't needed because it took Triforces to get the 9, so Malkier went in, got items, left. Plus, it didn't help that like 5 dungeons were all kind of clustered together.
Killing the Goma, hoping it will have the compass underneath it.
It could be the door. It's not.
I am absolutely waiting for the old man to say, kidnap guards the compass.
I'll do you one better. Nothing guards the compass, but the only way to get there is through Zelda's room.
Or we could just have the old man right in front of the door that opens, then you have to wait out the text.
And at least we don't have. At least we don't have to deal with slow text.
You know, I was thinking about suggesting that for, like, the red bubble curse. If you get hit by the red bubble, suddenly you get slow text. Not sure if it's, in theory, possible, but it'd be fun.
A fun idea for the red bubble curse would be that the whistle whirlwind actually does randomly warp you around and there's no rhyme or reason to it. The only way you know your red bubble curse is if you expect to go to level 1 and you go to level 6. Nice bomb force from Malkier.
Gonna do it again.
Yep. And Bort is going to go ahead and pick up the book.
Ran away from it.
Moldorm showing the dodging skills. You find another stair.
So many open doors. I think killing for compass Man, I'd just be blitzing these open doors like nobody's business. Hey, compass.
Yeah. Oh, okay, well,
Oh.
Zelda's pretty close.
I think this is GG.
Yeah. The silver to kill the beast lies elsewhere.
Well, going down, you're not going to get another hit, so we're not going to see anymore.
Yep. And here is a Zelda. Everyone, please get your GGs in chat for Malkier, finishing with an official time of, once I pull it up here,
54-19.
Oh, thank you much. Thought I had it up, I did not.
Sub-hour. I have the room minimized just so I don't accidentally type in there while I'm trying to type in chat instead. But that's about it.
Gotcha. So this is the best of 3, but I don't think the runners are doing 2 games back-to-back.
No.
And honestly, Bort might not want to anyway.
I believe the next one is set for, like, I want to say it was Sunday? Let me look. April 6th at 9 o'clock Eastern, so that would be Sunday.
To answer a question from Chad about favorite sodas, Dr. Pepper for me.
And Bort, not surprisingly, yeah, is just going to say no thanks because they're way out.
Yep. Just a series of fortunate events and unfortunate events happening at the same time. And again, generally, skipping the large dungeons isn't a bad play as a whole. Just, in this case, it ended up being a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, we're going to get joined by Malkier briefly, I think.
Yeah.
Just waiting out the rude thunder.
Yeah, it threatened to rain enough to make my feet bother me here, but we didn't get a whole lot of rain. We're now joined here by Malkier, I believe.
Yes, indeed. GG's. Although can't hear yet. Saw the green.
Can you hear me?
Not hearing. Yeah, I heard him there.
There we go.
So that just happened. That was a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of the big difference maker was you went into 7 and 8 early, as we are now joined by Bort.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Bort, GG.
Yeah, GG's. You did that really fast. I thought it was hard. I guess not.
Yeah.
So the Wand and Red Ring were both like 5 rooms into level 7 and 8 respectively.
Yeah, Wand was even quicker into level 7, but yeah, under 5 rooms for 2 big combat upgrades, 1 defense, 1 offense. The raft spot on the coast had an any key on the floor, 1 room in, moat blocked, of course, but it was just sitting there too, so it's just like... He just happened to go into some bigger dungeons early and happened to find things immediately. I think the bomb upgrade was like the 2nd room in, the Triforce 3rd room in for 5 specifically, so it was just like... Just managed to get into some of those dungeons, and those dungeons paid big dividends, allowing resources not to be spent, and then it was off to the races.
Yeah, that was nice, I guess. I went into 1 and 2, and everywhere I went, there was whiz robes I couldn't get past, and I couldn't find any hearts. Even there at the end, I had 6 hearts, I think, and I just couldn't get past any of that stuff. And when I got to 8 and 7, I just kept looking for smaller dungeons.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have to poke Malkier on that, but I don't know if Malkier was really intent on diving 7 or 8. I think you were just looking for freebies if you could find anything like a Triforce and get out, or a quick item and get out, and it just so happened it worked.
Yeah, so I went in to see kind of what the enemy set was. I looked around. I took my open doors. I took my areas where I didn't have to spend keys. I took my staircase, and then yeah, I saw the free stuff. I was like, okay, well, I'll come back if I have to.
For the record, Malkier, Triforces to enter 9 was in fact exactly 6.
Mhm.
So it opened for you immediately because you had 6 at that point. Bort found it a little bit earlier. I think the deaths also were a big factor because it got you away from the northeast, where I think 6 dungeons were in close proximity to one another.
Yeah, so that upper northeast, like, I was there for probably 45 minutes of the seed, almost, I would say.
Candle not required.
No candle, no recorder, no power bracelet. I think there was a ladder block somewhere.
Yeah, there's a ladder block unless you can get around it with a bow block, and the circle moat again probably would not have been fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I had my 5 tries. I had my bow, I had my ladder, red ring, and white sword. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go find 9 before I do anything else. And I happened to fall into 2. I was like, well, I'm here, I might as well clear it. And so the enemy set wasn't bad. Thankfully, I had the overs, and then the Triforce wasn't too far past that. Then I found 9 one more screen over, so I was like, okay, well, here we go.
Which also meant that the usage of the bomb on the manhandle in 1 didn't hurt you too bad in the end.
Yeah, I had some choice words on that manhandle, and then I saw that I had 2 more doors I had to get into.
Yeah, we were both. I did kind of the crestfallen emote from the Discord when I saw you use the bomb on the manhandle. We were just like, no, don't do that. Bomb the wall.
Well, I thought I had more bombs. That was just stupidity. I thankfully didn't burn me. What was the second item? Do we know?
No, but it's either
No.
power bracelet or boomerang or heart container. So whatever it is, not necessary.
Yep.
Well, I felt good because I got past the wizard room, and I was like, well, I don't want to come back. And then I saw I had the 0 bombs. I was like, well, I'm not coming back unless I absolutely have to now.
Just go back when the game tells you, no, you have to go back. And even then, protest heavily.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot else to really say about this. It's just like, you got combat, you got defense, and then it just turned on the jets because there was some free stuff early, and I mean, it just kind of played itself out for you at that point.
Yeah. This was game 1 between the two of you, so Bort, you do have the chance to strike back.
Not feeling as good about my chances now as I was earlier.
I mean, do random things. Sometimes you right order and it just falls into place, and sometimes you're wrong order and you just get combat bullied to oblivion. So I mean, just
Yeah,
I gotta say, I think I got really, really lucky in this seed with what I found early, and just the free red ring. I think it was big because I had 0 deaths, so that's huge for me because I usually die a lot.
Yeah, it just comes down to order sometimes, and I think if the order plays out the exact opposite in game 2, the result should probably be about the same the other way, to be honest. I think if Malkier is fighting with Wood Sword, Green Tunic, and 3 hearts and these blue Wizrobe screens without a bomb upgrade, it's going to go probably about as well as it did for you, Bort, so I wouldn't think about it too much.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I was practicing earlier today, and I finished the seed in like an hour, and I was like, alright, I'm feeling pretty good this time. Just didn't go my way.
Yeah, because if you play it back now knowing where things are, and you try like to basically go to those dungeons, you'll see, oh, well, this is... I now understand completely how this got blitzed. But yeah, you are at the point now where it's best of 3s instead of BO1, so there'll be at least a game 2, and hopefully we'll get a 3rd game up there to also watch and commentate and discuss Common Core and dad jokes and all other fun stuff.
Yeah, I want to thank you all for the last minute restream. I really appreciate it. I know it was like the last minute that got together, so very thank you for putting it together. And Smile Saver on the restream, and also over the comms also.
Yep, I got it from my nap. Looked and said, nobody's there yet, and I saw a poke around earlier, so I said, hey, let's see if people are still around. And I don't have access to the forum, so I didn't realize Smilefires had signed up for Restream. Figured we were just going to throw a small thing together, and got basically the full team.
Yep, definitely.
All right, Bort. We'll go again on Sunday. Thank you for the race, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Good game.
Thank you. You also.
Oh, also, it's I think the only time so far we've done comms. It was Blast.
Yeah, but we didn't get to see the blue boomerang, so there's that.
Yeah, it's probably tucked away in 8. We're not going back for that.
Yeah.
But for those of you looking for more Zelda 1 randomizer action, I think either just a minute or two underway or at most 6 minutes underway over on Speed Gaming 2 is Equations and Rando Runner. I think Tracy and Freedom Fire are doing the chat over there with CJ clicking the button. So let's go over there and watch that one play out and see if they get a kind of a freebie seed or if they get trolled like nobody's business. You know, that's the most fun for the comms.